So now we'll move on to the contents of IR. This is another important kind of a question. So we have seen like what is an integrated reporting. Now we will see what are the essential elements of a integrated reporting. So when you see a integrated annual report, you will see that this contents being like applied in most of the integrated annual reports. So we might see these sections in an integrated annual report: organizational overview, governance, business model, risk and opportunities, strategy and resource allocation, performance, and outlook. So these are the areas. We will look at them in detail. So a company might give this kind of a section under its annual integrated report or integrated annual report. So organizational overview. So this section is nothing but an overview about the entire annual report, integrated annual report, because usually this integrated annual report might run even for around some 50-60 pages. So people might not have the time to sit and read. So this is just a snapshot about all the 60 pages of a integrated annual report. So you might have our mission, the business model of the company, what's its performance in a very short snapshot. See, it tells about the revenue, it tells about the operating profit, how their revenue is split among the various products, how the profit is split among the various products, what is the overview about the market, the bus market, rail market for this company, what are their strategy, and what are their KPIs, that is also like given. Who are the people, who are the important people in this company? We have 23,000 employees. This is the board of directors, the chairman, the CEO, the CFO, the senior management. What does the company stands for? Its values, governance, remuneration, sustainability, and some few pictures of their company. So it gives a overview about what this company is. You get a snapshot of it. So if you want to read it in detail, you can read the 60 pages of this company's annual report. This section also has the organizational overview and the external environment. So they might also give a snapshot about the external environment. So this box here tells what are the key trends of this company. External environment refers to the pest analysis. So the company would have done a pest analysis, and they have found out of all these factors which affect their company, this 5 factors seems to be the important. Out of that 5, they have given 2 as in detail. This company seems to feel that the global aging is a good thing for this company, and they see their opportunity and risk. And this blue refers to the economic uncertainty. So it tells that the economic recovery is still uncertain. I think this was way back in 2012. So that's why they say the word economic uncertainty. So you get a rough picture about how the pest analysis is being like used by the company, and also like what are they tracking once they found out what is pest, what are they tracking, okay, and what are they trying to do about it. So one pest actually is economic uncertainty. They see an opportunity and risk in that, and what are they trying to do to mitigate that risk or exploit that opportunity, and where it affects their company. So it tells like in reality how things merge together. So this is the governance part. It tells about the leadership, the governance, the customers, the trust and values, the strategy of the company, and the shareholders relations. Usually the governance tells about the various types of management committees. Okay, you get the remuneration committee, nomination committee, audit committee, risk committee, and like all these kinds of data you can find it from this section, the governance section of the integrated annual report. You also get some information regarding the business model. So this company is a seafood company. So it tells like how the value is generated by the company. So value, we say that why a customer pays a price for the product. Okay, sometimes we usually pay a price for the product. Okay, sometimes we pay a higher price for the same product, okay, from a different company. So why are we trying to pay a higher price for a same product from a different company? Because those companies add certain values to the product. For example, this company is a fishing company. See, they have a vessel, they catch fish, they bring it to the processing area, it is being processed, then it is being loaded on the van then moves on to the wholesale unit of the company. From the wholesale unit, the customer buys it, okay, and finally he's going to cook and eat it. So if the customer is going to pay around some $10 for this fish, okay, the $1 he's paying for fishing, he pays some pays $5 for fishing, he pays $2 for cleaning, he pays $2 for shipping, he pays $1 for the convenience of coming and buying it in the shop. So he's paying for each and every the value that is being added. Fishing is a value addition, cleaning is a value addition, transportation is a value addition, storing in a convenience store is a value addition. So this is how the value is being generated by this company. So every company has its own value creation method. So your job, so what you do is you go to Google and type business model canvas. You will get an idea about how value is being created by a company. So that is a good starting point for you. The next one is risk and opportunity. So a company has to have risk management process. So what they do is, this company seems to have a proper risk management process. They tell from what is their risk management philosophy. It moves around the management board and then to adequate risk management and internal control system. It also takes the risks that the business must take. So it has a very clear idea about what they are doing. Then it tells like what are the risks that the company has, risks A, B, C, D, like that they have. I think they have some kind of a categorization. So this seems to be a risk ledger, or this is a risk ledger or a risk description. So each risk, where they stand, the name of the risk, and the starting point, I think, of the risk, and they do a sensitivity analysis for all these risks here. It also tells about the risk tolerance. So integrated annual report also tells about the strategy of the company. What are they trying to plan? This company ARM is a chip making company, something like an Intel chip. So this company wants to increase market penetration. They want to sell more chips. They want to increase the value per electronic device. So they want to, when you have i3 processor, the company wants to sell you i7 processor. So they want to make more money by selling a high upgrade. They also want to generate royalties from selling other useful technologies that they have. With all these things, when they get more money, again the company is going to invest in this business. So this is their strategy here. This is the performance of the company. So this company's financial performance is here. Its non-financial performance are here. In terms of financial, they have earnings, diluted earnings, ROE, revenue, return on assets, and dividend per share. In terms of non-financial, they measure staff, customers, shareholders, communities, and with regulators. So the company also have to have a detailed outlook of the future. So this one says where the market is currently now and where it will be heading in the next few years. So it's about where the company is moving. So the companies should usually give a good information about the future movement of the business, where the market is now and where the market is heading. So what is the benefit of IR? You think about what would be the benefits of using an integrated reporting. Number one is, one of the most important and most common benefits organizations experience is a new and better understanding of how they create or destroy value. So for what a customer pays money, so that can be broken into elements, and the company can focus on elements for which the customer pays more money and for which the customer is not trying to pay much of his money. So it helps in creating more value for the company. Improving what is measured. So the company has an idea of what is being measured. So rather than not measuring anything, now the company is measuring everything, so they can find out how they can improve their what they are measuring. Connecting departments and broadening perspective. See, the company is not anymore about the departments, okay? It's about the value creation here. Improving management information and decision making. So it helps to improve the decision making because information is like captured in a new way when compared to the annual reports. A new approach to stakeholder relations. So if you look at this entire benefits of IR, the impact has actually moved, okay, the emphasis actually moved from the financial accounting part to the management accounting part. So as a SCCA member or as a CAMA member, okay, your job is not only to help in terms of financial accounting, it's all about the management accounting. So if you see the entire IR, its predominantly focus is in terms of management information, better decision making, how to create value, okay. So it's all about not the debits and credits of a business, it's about the value creation part of it. So this kind of integrated reporting also helps the stakeholders to have a better view about how our business is.
You can reach me at my website wowacademics.com, or you can also see my Quora answers. I am active in LinkedIn and in Facebook page, so you can visit at these places. If you just type Shyam Prasad and Wow Academics, you will get all these links in Google search itself. And if you like this video, give a like, share to your friends, and if you feel that any points we have missed in this video, you can post it. We will try to give an answer to you in the comment section itself, or we'll also create another video for you. So thank you for watching our video.